Now the application is taking shape. Now there are two things I want to add in this module still before we're done. The first one is I want to make sure that we can also delete products, and I want to make sure that we also can see our cart items on the cart view and also remove them from the cart. Let's work on deleting products here first, and definitely feel free to try this on your own. You'll have to add a new method somewhere and basically make sure that you can not just save products in the product model, but also delete them. But of course, we'll then also do it together after a short pause that you can use to pause the video and go ahead on your own. Were you successful? Well, let's see how I would solve this. We want to be able to delete our products, right? And if we go to the products.js file, this view in the admin folder, we already have that delete button, which is wrapped in a form on purpose to send a post request to delete product. So we need to handle that route. That is a good starting point. So in the admin.js file in the routes folder, we need a new route for this. Post route for delete product. Now, since it's a post request, we also don't need to enclose or encode any information in our path in the URL. We can put it as part of our request body instead. So back in the view here, I will add a hidden input again, as we did it before in post requests, where I set the value to product ID using EJS templating syntax and the name to product ID so that we can extract that information by that name. So that's the first step. Now we do have that route. Obviously, we also need to work on the controller now. So let's go to the controller, the admin controller, and let's add a new action for deleting a product. Exports post delete product. There I get my normal arguments in this function. And now the question is, what do I want to do in there? Well, obviously I can extract the product ID from the request body by accessing product ID. That is why we just added it to our EJS template. And now we can also go back to the routes file and simply connect this route to our admin controller post delete product action. But the real magic now happens in our model, in the product model. We have the save method. Now I want to delete a product. So let's add a delete method in there. And what I plan on doing here is I actually want to turn this into a static method and maybe name this delete by ID, pass in an ID, and then have all the logic for deleting a product in here. To do this, I first of all need to find out which product to remove or update my array of products so that I can then write it back to my file. So just as in find by ID, I will call get products from file to get all the products. And in here, I then have the products array. There, I now need to find the index of the product I want to delete. So I will use products and then the find method to go through all my products and find the product with the ID I'm trying to delete. This is a mechanism we did before. Whoops, it should be find indexed though. Now this means I can update my products array such that this element is removed. And actually, there is even a shortcut we can use. I can create a new constant, updated products, take my existing products and not use find index, but use the filter method instead. Filter also takes an anonymous function and will return me all elements as part of a new array that do match the criteria my function returns. So if this returns true, the element is kept. Now I want to keep all elements where the ID of the element is not equal to the ID I'm trying to delete, because all elements where the ID is not equal should be kept around, should be part of the new array, which will be the array I save back to my file. This means that in this function, I actually want to return the opposite here. So only if the ID is not equal to the ID I'm looking for, I want to keep the item. So this will then return true if the IDs are not equal, therefore the item is kept. And only for that single product I'm looking for, this will be false, so the item is not kept in the new array. And that simply means that I can now go ahead and save my updated products, which are all products except for the one I want to delete, back into the file. So I will use the file system to write a file on this path and simply add my updated products in JSON format. And then again, I can use my or add my callback function to see if this throws any error. Now, if it does not throw an error, so if everything went fine, then I also want to remove that product from the cart, of course, because I can't have it in a cart if the product doesn't exist anymore, right? So as a next step, we'll also work on the cart and make sure we can delete items from there, a functionality we need anyways.